our body has three breathing gases.
Mhm.
We've all heard of oxygen. We're pretty familiar with carbon dioxide, and nitric oxide is the third one.
Okay.
And what it does is it opens up everything. So think about it opens up your blood vessels so that the air goes deeper down into your lungs and gets into your body better. It
Oh.
gives about 18% more oxygen to your body when you breathe through your nose than your mouth because of that nitric oxide.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Lacey Grimm, again with the Schoolhouse Life podcast, and I'm here talking to Kate Kitzes. So she's outside, which looks really nice, and she looks warm and cozy. And we are talking today about oral hygiene and how it relates to our overall health. Kate is an expert at that. She's a dental hygienist, and I really want her to start out by just kind of giving us a background in how she got into this message she shares about oral health and the power it has over our lives. Kate, please just share with us where you come from and how you've landed here.
You bet. Well, really, I mean, it started out when I was a kid struggling with all kinds of health issues that I just didn't understand. And I really wanted to do something that was preventative in nature and healthcare.
Hmm.
And dental hygiene for me was that. As I got into my career, I noticed all kinds of other issues that I've come down to is the way that we breathe, the
Hmm.
way that our face and our jaw grows, and our ability to do that 24/7. So even when we're sleeping, yeah, it all plays a role, and our mouth is kind of this missing link that has been underserved in our healthcare system, really. And so I just want to get that message out there that there's a lot you can see and tell about your health going on in your mouth,
Mhm.
and it makes the difference. It's my firm belief that most of our chronic illnesses
Mhm.
have a starting point in our middle face section here.
That
So
is so interesting. So would it have to do with sinuses and things too? Is that all a part of the same piece? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so a brief kind of a lot of people don't think about it this way, but the roof of your mouth is the floor of your nose. And
Mm.
so the
Wow.
way things grow in your mouth shape, so even like crooked teeth is really common,
Yeah.
but the roof of the mouth can be very pointy and peaked,
Mhm.
which takes up nasal space rather than being flat. And then you have all this space for the airflow up there. So yeah, it's all connected.
Interesting. Wow. Yeah, that's fascinating because, I think probably I'm with most people, I'm thinking that dental hygiene really has to do, or oral health has to do with, you know, having a filling or getting your teeth cleaned or any of those things. But not really. I mean, I just feel like this is totally, totally brain busting. I've never heard of this before. So
Yeah.
can you give us some examples of things that start in the mouth, maybe some issues that people have that start in that area?
Sure. Well, for one, if you do have compromised airway, a lot of people, their nose may be congested for one reason or another. You get a cold or allergies. You can start mouth breathing. And when you breathe through your mouth, there's a lot you don't get. I know in some of the other work that you've mentioned,
Mhm.
you've talked a lot about the pituitary glands
Yes.
and yeah, yeah. And
Mhm.
that produces there's a nitric oxide is the type of gas
Uh-huh.
that is produced up there and held in the sinuses. And without breathing through your nose, you don't get that to your body.
Oh,
Now, nitric
fascinating.
oxide is really, really cool.
Yeah.
So is that something you've heard or found in your
No,
studies
please
before?
tell us more. I mean, I've heard the words, but I don't know how it relates to health. So please share.
Yeah. So our body has three breathing gases.
Mhm.
We've all heard of oxygen. We're pretty familiar with carbon dioxide, and nitric oxide is the third one.
Okay.
And what it does is it opens up everything. So think about it opens up your blood vessels so that the air goes deeper down into your lungs and gets into your body better. It
Oh.
gives about 18% more oxygen to your body when you breathe through your nose than your mouth because of that nitric oxide.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I had no idea, which makes it a lot of sense because I've really been embracing a lot of meditation and breathing techniques that really are very calming and make you feel, I wouldn't call it more oxygenated, but that's probably what's causing the feeling, right? Is just feeling more alive even. So that's
Yeah.
very cool. So what are some things people can do to fix if they're doing things wrong, or if they're, if they have a weird shape or whatever. What hope do they have?
Even just habits, like you mentioned, doing breath work and meditation, there are different exercises that can get healthy habits going again. Our breath really is our life force. It's
Mhm.
how our internal and external body systems communicate and
Wow.
tell each other what's going on. So even just mindfulness of your breath
Mhm.
is really powerful, because most of us, we do it automatically because our body's trying to automate whatever it
Right.
can, make life easier. But sometimes it's not easy to breathe, and it's not easy to function. We get anxiety, we get stressed, we get worked up,
Mhm.
and our body feels like it's in a constant, like, fight or flight, let's go fight this tiger mode.
Yeah.
You should just be, resting, digesting, playing with your kids.
Oh,
So
that's so
it's
interesting, because that is the first thing that happens when I'm in a moment of fear or in a moment of stress. Then my breathing, if I pay attention, I'll notice it gets short. I will breathe through my mouth more. I have a hard time catching my breath. Lots of different things happen. So that makes complete sense. So what would you say to someone who is skeptical about this, what you're sharing with folks?
I kind of term it the functional dentistry. So just like you would think of like functional medicine, it
Mhm.
really focuses on you, and it really focuses on all open avenues. So it's not just the traditional care. It is going to also lean on a lot of the more holistic and alternative methods. There is research out there. It's up and coming. So it will be mainstream. It just isn't there yet.
Right. Sure. It's got to
So
start at the beginning, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Can you
Uh,
share any experiences you've had helping people with these specific needs?
yeah. I can tell you a little bit about my story and some of the
Yeah.
families I've worked with, but basically, for me, I had debilitating daily headaches,
Mm.
chronic wide pain. I had gut issues where I would have bloating and allergies. When I was actually pregnant with my second, my house had this leak that had mold
Oh,
exposure. And
right.
when
So,
there's mold,
yeah.
that spirals everything.
Yeah.
And so I really had a very compromised airway. I couldn't breathe through my nose at all. It was
Mhm.
so puffed up and swollen, like my nose was completely blocked off.
Mhm.
And that basically put me in a tailspin that
Yeah.
ended up where you're anxious, you're getting 2 hours of sleep every night, and you're struggling. You don't know what to do, and you're stuck.
Mhm.
So I used the method that has I'm talking about, with breath work, exercising, and some other more airway focused health with tongue tie release and orthodontics,
Oh,
with
okay.
the braces and stuff, in order to better suit things. I still need to do a little bit in my nose,
Mhm.
some nose work there. For now, I use a lot of sprays in the nose and just
Yeah.
do but nasal hygiene, eliminate the toxins and eliminate the mold exposure. Unfortunately, I'm allergic to trees, so um,
Yeah, that's tricky.
it's all like natural, over the counter or easy to access things that have helped me get to the point where it's manageable.
Right.
Um,
Okay,
so
that's really interesting. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, we work with people and help them using essential oils, and that's one of the things I often say is, like, if we can just help you get better sleep, all of these other things are going to
hmm
cascade and do better, because it really is the most important thing. And breathing, a lot of times I'll even mention, if you're snoring, it's probably your nasal cavity is not, open enough, you're not getting enough oxygen. But I never really
yep.
had related it to all these other little pieces. So I think this is just brilliant. It makes so much sense.
Well, and that's exactly it. Your nasal passageway just isn't open enough, and snoring is not normal. It's interrupting your sleep. And I guess
Your
the
partner's
other thing that I mentioned there is your jaw and your tongue, and when they can't function properly due to restrictions, tethered oral tissues, tongue ties, things that you may have heard there, or
Yeah,
just simply your muscular habits. Because I mean, your
yeah.
face and your neck has like 72 muscles, 8 of them are in your tongue alone,
Mhm.
and they all learn habits. And so if you're learning to mouth breathe in the day or at night, you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So
So one of the things that I know is that you actually help deal with children and help children
yep,
kind of reframe those habits early on, which I'm sure,
yeah,
over a long period of time, all of these habits have a detrimental impact. So if we can start young, how much
yes.
more powerful will that be in terms of the long-term health benefits? So can you explain what that looks like in dealing with children, and maybe some little things people can do with their kids, who maybe they know are having sleep issues or snoring or, waking up a lot in the night?
Yeah, definitely. Like you mentioned, starting early is key. Your tongue is your natural expander and braces.
Mhm.
So just really during the day, having like maybe a code word and watch your kids. Do their lips part? Do they find while they're, focusing that they're in that open mouth posture?
Mm.
Go ahead and check their tongue, see if they can actually get their tongue to the roof of their mouth. The simplest way that I know with the kids is to do kind of like a TikTok with a
Yeah, okay.
mhm. So because if you can't get it up there to make that click and make that suction, then they can't do that at other times throughout the day. And
Mhm.
your tongue really should be up
Yeah,
on the roof of your mouth, gently
interesting.
suctioning it closed. Um,
That's crazy. Oh my goodness. Now I'm like,
right?
I can't stop moving my mouth and my tongue around. That's a
Yeah, it
great
builds
way to
awareness.
explain. So cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all just kind of simple, just awareness is key.
Yeah.
The other side is if these kids do have allergies, if they haven't explored that, they really should.
Mhm.
Eliminating toxins or triggers is
Mhm.
key, which I'm sure you talk quite a bit with your essential oils.
Mhm. Sure.
And there's actually some really great essential oils, as you may have talked about, that open the passageways.
Yes.
So that can be
For
so
sure. Go
key.
feel free to say what would you
Yeah.
share to open the passageways? I'm curious.
Yeah. So the few that I really find to be powerhouses is lavender, tea tree oil, and mint.
Yes,
Um, so
absolutely.
yeah,
That would be my
the
first
lavender.
three. Lemon,
Oh,
lavender, and peppermint. Those are the trio for sure.
yeah, yeah. You want
Yeah.
to definitely get them clear, refreshed, because a clean nose is a clear nose, and that's what's going to help them.
Okay, very cool. All right. So, lastly, I'm
Yeah.
like digesting this information. I'm going to be thinking about this all day and assessing my children. You do have a great giveaway for folks, which I'm excited about. So the giveaway will give a link to you in the when we're posting our stuff. But the giveaway is for an assessment for children, right? Can you share with us what that looks like?
You bet. So a lot of times kids that aren't sleeping well present very differently than the way that we do as adults. We get the bags under the eyes, like we're like dragging, slumping through the day. Kids kind of do a lot of opposite things.
Yeah,
They get
I
almost
agree.
overreactive and hyperactive.
Yeah.
And there's a few things that they can do during their sleep that are red flags for the fact that they have some sort of airway issue and they're trying to open it. So snoring, of course, being one of them, but really restless sleeping, tossing and turning, kids that have, those vivid dreams, night terrors, bedwetting, all of that's listed out on
Okay.
that quick list. So
Very
yeah,
good.
take a look at it. It'll let you know if maybe there's something going on and we should explore it more.
That's awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, Kate. This is all just really new and fascinating information. So,
Yeah.
one last thing, what is something that you do on a regular basis for yourself, for your own health, just to keep yourself feeling your best?
Breath work, honestly. Yeah.
Can you,
It just
okay, share an example. What does that look like?
yeah. So really, the simple box breath, which is
Mm.
think about a box. You're going to breathe in through your nose for about 4 seconds,
Mhm.
hold for 4 seconds,
Mhm.
breathe out for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds,
Mm.
and keep going around and around. So if
Mm.
you want to do it all together, I
Yeah,
can walk you through it.
let's do it.
Okay.
Okay.
So seal the lips, tongue on the roof of the mouth, and breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Out through the nose. 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4.
Oh, nice. That is
Yeah.
so easy. That one you can remember really easy. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kate, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience before we go?
Just I'm here for questions. I know this is new for a lot of folks. It was new for me, and I worked in the dentistry field for many years. So yeah, it's pretty exciting, and it's life changing.
It is. It's so cool. All right. Well, Kate, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And like she said, anyone, if you have questions, reach out to her and get some answers about your oral health. I'm curious. I want to help everyone breathe better. So
Yeah.
thank
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Have a great
Yeah.
day.
You too. Thanks.